It's early on a Sunday morning. I've got a coffee in my hand, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for a car show. I love an early start like this. It's just super exciting, and I feel like 2024 summer has been a summer of obviously the road trip, going to Poland, going to the Belgian Grand Prix. It's been absolutely amazing, but it's not given me the chance I had so often in 2023, and that was going to local car shows, because that's where the real joy is, I think, because you're seeing people you maybe have met before, people you maybe haven't met before, talk basically nonsense about cars and look around the absolute magnificence that is on show. So today, for I believe the fourth time, we are en route to the Bicester Scramble at Bicester Heritage in Bicester. Bit of a clue there in the name. In this, my 2007 Fiat Panda 100 HP called Paolo, and I'm very excited actually. I don't think the car will be on show today, it'll be in the normal field. It's probably just as well, because you probably can't see this. It looks a bit of a state. I've been very busy recently with work, and yeah, I haven't had time to give it a proper scrub. I've checked the important bits, that's the oil level and the tyres, but to be honest, it's just going to have to look a bit of a pig for today, I think. So I'm on the side of a bypass. We're going to get going because it's quite noisy. Got about 2 hours, 130 miles to go, but got good music on, so it can't be that bad. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and follow me on social media at DanielCars05. Let's hit the road. So there we are then, arrived here at Bicester Heritage, ready for an exciting day ahead at the October Scramble. I always love parking in this field, weirdly, because you see such a variety of cars here, and this is kind of just the general public selection of cars that, you know, aren't in the actual main display section. But just here, Subaru, you've got Porsches, you've got absolutely everything. Lovely M3, it's fantastic. So I feel like if you're at these events, and it's the same with Goodwood and all the others, yes, look around the main site, obviously, but also explore, you know, around the event, because you see so much more. I think it's only appropriate we start off with what's next to me. BMW 1M in probably the best colour in my eyes, that burnt orange colour. This one's actually for sale, so if you want a BMW 1M for £42,000 with 93,000 miles on the clock, then there's one here for you. This is probably in my top 10 all-time cars, to be honest, because I just think it looks fantastic, and in my eyes it's kind of the perfect recipe for the perfect car. You know, lightweight, not overly complicated, it's just pure driving pleasure, and as BMW would say, the ultimate driving machine. E46 M3 with perhaps what has to be the best private reg you could get for this, M3 Boy. I forgot how fantastic this event was. You know, just the variety. You go from really vintage cars to maybe later 1980s icons, and then you walk over here, and in front of me is a load of Alpines. Alpine are here. The variety here is just amazing. It really is amazing. And the car you don't expect to be around the corner usually is around the corner. That's what I love about this. If you like rare Nissans from back in the day, then this really is where you want to be. A Nissan, I think it's B1, B-1, next to a Figaro, next to a Nissan Pao, or Po, however you want to say it. And these are cars, I mean, you see Figaros every now and then, you know, tucked away in a bush somewhere or something, but the B1 and the Pao, Po, however you say it, you just never see. And it is a shame, because they're pretty genius, to be honest. And in terms of design, so retro. You've got to remember, these aren't old cars. 1989 Nissan Pao compact car, and it looks like something from maybe the 1960s, if not earlier. It's just that retro design that I think is really quite timeless, and you just look at it and go, oh, that's cute. So I like that a lot, but these are nice as well. Defenders, and a couple of, I think, Tamiya models here as well. Yeah, that's very cool. Lovely livery as well. BMW Z1, a car I've probably seen 3 or 4 times, and I actually think every time I've seen one, it's been here at Bicester Heritage at the Scramble. Obviously with the iconic doors that go down. I think in a Bond movie from back in the day. I'll be saying that a lot. There's a lot of really, really legendary classic cars here. So yeah, let's walk around here, because we can do loads of classics for the entire video, but there's something here which is modern and something I'm a huge fan of. and that is the Volkswagen ID Buzz. A van, not a car, a van that I'm hoping to get on the channel at some point soon to do a bit of a review on. But yeah, we've had this on the channel before when, I think it was Motor World, wasn't it, in Cologne, Michael Schumacher Museum on the road trip. There was a Polizei livery ID Buzz, but it's just such a fantastic van. And I've been really excited about this ever since it was a concept and it came out, and to be honest, it didn't really disappoint. I just love it, and I think you've got to have an ID Buzz in a wacky colour like this yellow. I think over here we've got one of Gordon Murray's cars, which are a lot smaller in person than you'd actually expect, and I think it's starting up here. You can tell by the crowd.
I really like that matte orange one there.
There's one of the T.50s leaving now. Wow. Bloody hell, that sounds nice, doesn't it? It's a car that really restores faith in the modern world we live in. Another non-car aspect of Bicester Heritage I really enjoy is the music. And they're playing the Beatles. And when you're walking around looking at all of these period correct cars from when the Beatles were around, it's really fitting. It's nice, and it beats the modern crap you hear on the radio nowadays. This is the non-M5 M5 Touring that we've seen before actually at previous scrambles. I think this is actually the third scramble I've seen this car, and the first scramble I featured the car in, I was saying, oh my god, you know, M5 Touring, and somebody corrected me in the comments, rightfully so, and said, you know, they didn't actually make an M5 Touring of that generation, and that's actually something that somebody's made. So kudos to the owner really, because they've done a really, really good job. The electric version of the Renault 5, reborn, but it's the Alpine version, so it's a fast one. I really like this, and I actually think even just the standard new Renault 5 is going to be a massive hit. And finally a competitor to the modern day Mini, where you've got that go-kart feel. I know it's a cliche, but also a really, really good car. So I'm excited to see them on the road really, and hopefully get my hands on one. But here's the classic Renault 5 over there. So this is Chris Harris's M5 Touring he's brought along to the Bicester Scramble, and he's parked it alongside the brand new M5 Touring, the heavy one. This has, you know, taken a lot of headlines recently because of the weight figure, but I think for me, I'd take the V10. I do like this new green colour that BMW are using a lot on their M products at the moment. It's just fantastic, and on a sunny day, which it isn't today, it really pops. This is the Tamiya Wild One Max, and it's a 1:1 scale Tamiya model built by the Little Car Company. Now, I was last at Bicester Heritage back in July, just after the road trip, when I came to film the Audi TT, the wingless TT, and we ended up having a little tour around the Little Car Company, and wasn't allowed to take any photos or anything, but I can tell you about the experience. It was phenomenal. They've got other cars over there, which I'll probably show you in a minute, but this for me has to be the best one and the most exciting one, as a bit of a Tamiya fan for all of my life. It's fully electric, buggy, and yeah, this is quite something. And I think if you ask most people what would be their dream project, I think this would probably be it, because I mean, as a Tamiya fan, how can you not love that? But the Little Car Company, they tend to specialise in, you know, really iconic classic cars, scaled down and electrified, and they're not road legal, but they're perfect if you've got some private land or something, and you can whiz them about. And to be honest, they fly. And you've got to remember, they are scaled down, so they don't need to have the power of the real thing, because that would just be a little bit bonkers. But yeah, I absolutely love what the Little Car Company are doing, and check them out, to be honest, because they're a small company, and I think they need a lot more recognition. And obviously they're British and stuff, so just check them out, to be honest. Give them a follow on Instagram or whatever, because what they're doing needs to be celebrated. Last time it was Suzuki bringing all of the Swifts along, but this time Volkswagen brought along every single Golf GTI from the Mark 1 to the very latest 8.5. And this is to celebrate 50 years of the Golf. A really iconic car, to be honest, and a car that has been around in so many people's lives around Europe. I just think the Mark 6 in particular has aged so well. Mark 5's even a fantastic buy in the used market, but I like the Golf GTI. It's a bit It's a bit of a classic now, isn't it? Certainly an Audi A2, 55 plate, so a very late one. A2 Owners Club sticker, 1.4 petrol. These are fantastic. And if you watch my other YouTube channel with my good friend Matthew, All Things Auto, he used to have one of these. He had one as his first car. He swapped it now for a Fabia VRS for more power. But yeah, A2's genius. Obviously aluminium space frame and super economical, especially the diesel. I really enjoyed exploring the auto jumble they had here. I want to say October last year, I think, maybe. One of the scrambles anyway. Because I think the last one, Chris Harris was doing something with collecting cars on stage. But it's just something about, I don't need anything, but it's just something about walking around the auto jumble and just obsessing over random car parts and trying to identify what car it's from. So I'm gonna have a wander around. All these model cars as well, it's just absolutely endless. 993 Porsche, in my opinion, one of the best generations, I'd say. I think it's just, again, aged so nicely. I think Porsches tend to, don't they? It's just so recognisable, the shape. Nice interior. It's got one of those nice wooden gear knobs as well. But yeah, this is the 90s lawn, I think, or pre-90s lawn as it's called. There's plenty of stuff here, from Mercedes to Beetles to massive Ford pickup trucks. There's pretty much everything, but something over here which is really quite charming, and it's just a simple BMW. Look at that. Lovely colour as well, 316. It's almost got like blinds in the rear window, but I like that. That's really, really nice. Of its time, as they'd say. It's got BBS wheels, and yeah, so small compared to BMWs of today. Everything's just grown massively. But yeah, that's really nice. It's on Instagram. Murray Cars, respect your elders, as the sticker says. But always nice to look around this lawn because you see so much. Little 205 GTI as well, next to a Golf. 944. It's just amazing. You look around and you've got no choice but to walk past cars that you'd normally go, wow, because there's just so many of them. And that's the same as a lot of car shows, to be honest, nowadays. I was worried about the weather today. I was worried it'd be a little bit rainy and it would stop some of the car owners from being brave and taking their cars out. But the weather's held out so far, which is good. Just a little bit chilly. But yeah, massive army truck over there next to the Saab. Zoom in a bit. It's just fantastic. We found ourselves BMW Z3. Obviously the car I've been on about a lot recently because I really want one, and next year I'm going to try and make it happen. It'd be good content for the channel as well, maybe a new project or something. But yeah, something very cool just happened. Bumped into Francis, who's a good friend of mine. He has a Panda, fellow young guy into his car photography. Had him on the podcast, the Daniel Achterhuis podcast, my own podcast, a few weeks ago now, so you can check that out. But walking around, and we went to have another look at Chris Harris's M5 Touring, which has a really, really nice interior. He's swapped out. He's just posted about on Instagram, and he was stood by the car, so went over and just said, you know, hi Chris, nice to meet you, can I have a photo? Got a photo of Chris Harris, which was really good because, I mean, I've watched this stuff now for coming up to 10 years maybe now, probably 8-10 years something, so really nice to finally meet him. Said I was enjoying his new show with Paddy on BBC One, but yeah, finally got a photo with him. So I'm heading back to the Panda just to sit down and have a quick sandwich because I'm starving after the early start this morning. Can't find it. It seems to happen at every car event I go to. If the Panda's not on show, I genuinely can't find it. And when you've got a field with this many cars in it, it makes trying to, oh, it's there. It makes trying to find the car really, really difficult. But yeah, I'm kind of glad the Panda's not on show. Mentioned this morning, didn't I? But it's looking a bit of a state. But yeah, not the end of the world because it's out of sight. So there we go then. It's that part of the Bicester Scramble where it starts to get a little bit thinner in terms of cars that you can see because it's been a bit of a cold day. So turnout hasn't been maybe as big as it would have been. Remember last October, the Scramble, which I did a video on, you can check it out on the channel. It was a much nicer day. And I think naturally if you've got an F40 or something, you're more likely to bring it out. But we've seen some amazing cars today. Some not in this video as well, and I'm sure you'll see it all over social media and you'll be like, Daniel, how can you have not featured this? There's just too many cars to feature, and it would have been a 4-hour long video to feature them all, but we've seen some amazing cars, and I hope you've enjoyed looking around it. The next scramble is January. I've never done a January scramble. I've always been busy or forgotten to get tickets or something. But I'm going to try to, because I really do like this show. But they do sell out quite quick, so I'm going to try and get onto it as soon as I can. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and you can follow me on social media at DanielCars05. And don't forget as well to check out the Daniel Drives podcast. My new podcast started a few months ago now, actually, where I interview guests, and I'll be talking about this event and so much more. So yeah, do check that out. But for now, thank you for watching. Drive safely. I'll see you soon.